So, The Warning, are they a metal band or are they, quote unquote, only hard rock? Let's think about that. Hey everybody, I'm Wayne, your metal professor. And to kick things off, let us hear 3 samples from The Warning's debut release, the 2015 EP, Escape the Mind.
I knew you were gonna take me down. Oh no. Oh, I can't believe I fell for all of your lies. I flew in. Nothing has changed. I'm crashing through space. I'm burning up, and there's nothing that can put out this flame.
Clearly the band is still finding its voice, so to speak. None of those songs is remotely metal. I'd probably characterize the first song, Take Me Down, as soft rock or pop rock, tinged a little bit with blues. The second one, Eternal Love, we could even say that's country. The next 2 songs on the EP also are soft rock, so a person could be forgiven if all they knew of The Warning were the songs on Escape the Mind. A person could be forgiven, I say, for concluding that this is a soft rock band. But the 5th song on the EP, the 3rd sample we just listened to, Free Falling, that's different. Free Falling has a rock sound that none of the other songs on the EP provide, and it hints at how the band would evolve. Before we continue, why are we even doing this? Who cares whether we classify The Warning as metal or hard rock or whatever? I certainly don't, and their legions of fans almost certainly don't either. But there are some people who do care about that kind of thing. And even if you don't care about that kind of thing, it's just kind of fun to talk about. I included The Warning in a video I made pretty recently about 5 all-female metal bands you need to hear. And The Warning got so much love from people in the comments, which was great, but there also were quite a few folks who commented and said, no, The Warning are not a metal band, they're a rock band. So that's why we're doing this. Are they a metal band? Can we think of them as a metal band? I don't know. In this video, we've already listened to some samples from Escape the Mind. Next, we're going to go pretty carefully through their 2017 full-length debut album, 21st Century Blood. And in the sequel to this video, we'll get into Queen of the Murder Scene and Error. And real quick, if anybody thinks that labels are absolutely hard and fast and there's universal agreement about what's metal and what's not, listen to this. Oh, ye of the metal faithful, you'll totally get this clip, even if nobody else does.
We are Motorhead! And we play rock and roll!
Most people go metalhead. Heavy metal, sure. Not according to Lemmy. Now, you may disagree with his assessment of their music, but on this channel, we don't argue with St. Lemmy. By the way, thank you for choosing this video from the millions you could have chosen.
Thank you!
Obviously, I hope you like it, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, that would be great. And by all means, share it with someone else you think might enjoy the video. Okay, and by the by, we're just doing quantitative analysis, not qualitative. We are analyzing the music. We're not evaluating it. You know, we're not doing what movie critics do when they see a film that's of a genre they like, and so, hey, they praise it just automatically. And if they see a film that's of a genre they don't like, oh, they're gonna trash it right away. No, that's specious. I'd even say ridiculous, so we're not going to do that. We are just attempting to listen to the songs on the albums and determine whether we can call these metal. And I might make a few observations about how the band's sound is changing and how they're growing as musicians and that sort of thing. But again, this is quantitative, not qualitative. And once we evaluate the songs, or well, once we analyze the songs, I should say, we'll then decide how to classify each album as a whole. And we'll just do that mathematically. If most of the songs on the album are hard rock, we'll say, okay, it's a hard rock album. If most of them are death metal, which they're not, we'd say, hey, there's The Warning's death metal album. With that in mind, we can safely say Escape the Mind is a soft rock album. But 21st Century Blood gives us a pretty different tale. Let's see just how different, track by track. The title cut, 21st Century Blood. Right off the bat, we are hearing that the Warning 2017 is a very different beast than the Warning 2015. The band has grown a lot. They have more skill, they have more confidence, as though they're not scared of their instruments or their talent anymore. And Danny's vocals have grown by leaps and bounds. Shattered Heart, the album's second cut. A rock/hard rock song. It continues the promise of the opening cut, giving us another kind of aggressive, muscular song that shows that the band has grown in musicality. It gives us even more of Danny's growth in vocals. They're more powerful. They have a stronger, warmer timbre than even the previous song. And that interlude that begins at about the 2-minute mark, starting kind of softly and then growing into that guitar-heavy crescendo, that is very nice, and it shows us the band's growing ability in song construction.
Your words mean nothing at all.
Survive. Now this is a rock/hard rock song, and I would say that this is the most musically mature song the band has given us up to this point. The track shows them experimenting with tempos, and it shows them experimenting with intervals, and it shows them experimenting even more with Danny's vocals. She uses one tone in the intro and the verses, and quite a different tone, a much richer one, in the chorus and the bridge. And completing the track with essentially 90 seconds of no vocals, just some, whoa, whoa kind of stuff, while the music builds in intensity, not just growing in volume, but with extra layers of instrumentation, and then ending again pretty softly. Well, that's an unexpected, kind of inspired move, I would argue. And that soft ending flows nicely into the album's next track.
Wildfire, they try to shut us down. We're the high flyers, they try to pull us back.
Wildfire, a hard rock song. Now, I was a little worried, I admit, when the song began, and given its title, Wildfire, which sounds so country to me, I was like, oh man, they abandoned the rock. But no, they didn't. This track doesn't have the loudest guitars or the craziest vocals or anything, but it's very solid. It continues showing the band's experimenting with interludes and tempos and so forth, and it's a satisfying 3.5 minutes.
Don't hold on, don't hold on. I got nothing left to give, but I keep.
Black Holes, Don't Hold On. It's a rock ballad, nicely done.
It's always your fault, but I'm always there to take the blame.
Our Mistakes, unmistakably a rock song, and it has several different flavors in it. It's got some sort of soft rock ballad type stuff, it's got some rock and roll, it's got a nice hard rock chorus.
When I'm dragging along, when I'm alone, when I'm alone.
When I'm Alone, rock. And this is a deceptively peppy song. The music is peppy. It's fun, but the topic is anything but that. This song really impresses me because it captures the essence of what it is to be depressed and yet still functioning. I saw this on a meme, but it's true nonetheless. Remember, nobody pretends to be depressed. We pretend to be happy. You smile, you joke, you do your job, you act like everything's fine, except it's not.
I'll smile on through the night. Everyone will think I'm alright, but nobody knows.
And that the band understands this and conveys it so well through this song is a really nice move. Although several of the band's earlier tracks are about, various emotional difficulties, many of those tracks are about difficulties of the kind of teenage angsty variety, which I'm not trivializing that if you are a teen and you're going through that teen angst. It's very real, it's very serious to you. This song shows the band taking a step into more universal, mature territory.
Runaway child, if not from death, then run from life.
Runaway, another song that I would characterize not just as rock, but as hard rock. It's not the last or the hardest hard rock song we'll get on the album, but it's not bad at all. In fact, I'd say it's fairly impressive. Unmendable, hard rock. I like this song. I like that kind of Ramones type frenetic bar chord strumming that's going on here. And some of you told me in comments to my earlier video that The Warning has some influences from punk rock. Well, I can hear them here. Copper Bullets. Here is where the band gets the closest so far to metal territory. In fact, I'd say they even step into that territory. There's no peppy section in this song, there's no soft ballady stuff, and the musical intervals stick to hard rock and metal without letting up. I've used that word interval several times. You might be thinking, what the f is interval? Real quick, interval refers to the difference in pitch between one note or one chord and the next. Rock tends to use intervals of several whole steps, well, like this. Hard rock songs, almost by definition, use not only whole step intervals, but also some half step intervals like this. Metal uses a lot of half steps. So, in short, rock, hard rock, and metal tend to use different intervals. Now, not exclusively, okay, but by and large, the harder the music gets, the more half steps, the smaller the intervals you're going to hear. Okay, back to the content. Show Me the Light. This is a difficult one to call. I mean, clearly it's a ballad, but it's not like a 70s soft pop rock kind of ballad. It's not even like an 80s metal power ballad. It's just a ballad, except it's not just a ballad, it's a heavy ballad. So what do we call this? I'm going to say it's metal, a lot like this. Disturb the sound of silence. But feel free to disagree, of course. Exterminated. Hard rock with some really nicely used half steps. I actually wish we'd gotten a studio version of this song, because in my opinion, just one more layer of guitars would make this heavy enough to call it metal, and I think that would be great. But as it is, it's a really good hard rock song. This brings us to the album's final track, River's Soul. We probably should call this hard rock, but it also has some metal elements. In fact, this bit reminds me quite a bit of this. Or even this. And if you think that either of those two songs is not metal, well, hey, everybody's entitled to his or her opinion. But not that one. So, how do we classify 21st Century Blood as a whole? Well, sir, if we're just counting the number of songs that are hard rock or metal or whatever, and we're going to double dip here, right? If we said that a song was rock/hard rock, it'll count both in the rock and the hard rock category. So, with the double dipping, we have 6 rock songs, 9 hard rock songs, and 2 metal songs, at least by the way that I have analyzed these things. So by the time of the album 21st Century Blood, the band clearly had evolved, and they jumped from soft rock on Escape the Mind, jumped right over rock, straight into hard rock on their debut album. And the leap they made there, one could argue they even exceeded it, going from 21st Century Blood to their next album, Queen of the Murder Scene. Queen of the Murder Scene and Error are the 2 albums that we will get to in the sequel video to this one. By the by, if you'd like to buy an In Metal We Trust shirt or a Metal is for Girls shirt, there's a link in the video description. Yeah, I'm shamelessly hawking my own wares, but what are you gonna do? Okay, everybody, that's what I have got today. Thank you so much for watching. Please come back for the sequel video to this one. That'll be coming up relatively soon, so yeah, come back. Again, thanks for watching. Hey, feel free to watch some more videos, you know, while you're here. It'll do you some good. It'll certainly do me some good if you do that. Okay, you guys are awesome. I'll talk to you soon.